The year is 2020 and the people are rising, divided by violence. Some shout, some stay silent. We done seen too much out through our eyelids. The ones with closed eyes can't see that our side is damaging most, but still we go toe to toe with 12 and any foe that wanna go. We pulling up, mass numbers, we showing up, we show them love. Don't want that, I give you one. Black fist in the air. At this point, it's been an entire summer's worth of demonstrating and protesting. The mass fires and looting seen in the Minneapolis protests for George Floyd have long since dwindled, and clearly, the people remaining in the streets fighting for liberation are not troublemakers looking for disaster.
A white lady came up and threw hands on Jazmyn, and then all these cops submerged on us because apparently it's our fault that this white lady came up here and put hands on a tiny woman. Wow. You know, but yes, please surround us because we are clearly the ones who have a problem.
Groups like Mobilize the People, among others, often show up to city council meetings to be heard and to voice their opinions on solutions that would otherwise not be displayed without their presence. However, being this close to the opposition often brings with it conflict and possible danger.
Going on, you don't have a mask on, so I'd really appreciate if you take your COVID ass over there. And you can walk away. I was here.
You walk away.
So I need you to take some. Can
you guys please back up? Can you guys please back up? You know, you have a mask. Why are you not wearing it? Please back up.
Okay, so
Tell me what happened.
we came at 5, and there's really no one here. There's about 6 of us. We had no signs or nothing. We just came, to talk. And as soon as we walked up, they started yelling, "All lives matter." Like, we have no Black Lives Matter, like, merch, nothing to, put us out there like that.
Let me just spin real quick. And they just
assume, because we're Black,
yeah.
that Black Lives Matter. And it's just, it's ridiculous.
And what are we here to do today? Like, what were we really here
to address the racism in Huntington Beach, because it's fucking ridiculous. We can't walk down the pier without being called a nigger, without being spit at. Okay, we're here to address just the fact that they allow all this to happen here, that they allow parents to take their kids to the pier and, say Black lives don't matter, that they're teaching this to their children in this city. And the fact that we have a Take Back HB group here, and they're here
to take back what?
And it makes no sense. They don't get it. They hate our signs that say abolish the police, but they don't understand that abolition leads to reform. Abolition leads to, equal rights. They don't understand.
Clearly there is a blatant disregard from the police force in Huntington Beach for Jazmyn being assaulted. Even if it is an alleged assault, they had no regard for the situation or gathering a report of the situation. Further to that, this police officer is wearing no mask and addressing the public who she is supposed to be protecting and serving. Wearing no mask, during COVID season is not protecting and serving. It's really not actually giving a fuck about the people.
Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you! You're a fucking bitch! And you should be ashamed of yourself! You guys need to calm down. And I was like, I understand, but you guys, look how many of you are there.
My name is Jazmyn. I'm here on behalf of Black Lives Matter. I just want to say every person on this board needs to reevaluate why you're here. If you're not fighting to end the blatant racism and disrespect in HB, then you should not be a representative of the people of this county or city. You should be ashamed to sit up there and do nothing every day with your time when there's people suffering on the streets. They say taking HB back from homeless people. They're not taking anything away from you. They have nothing. They're looking for shelter, for food, for a job, and they have nothing in this city. We need to help them instead of pushing them out. We need to give them resources, a roof over their head, food in their stomachs, and maybe we'll see these problems go away. Because right now, you guys are doing nothing to help the people of your city. All you're doing is sitting here, collecting money, paying these cops to do nothing. So when you get home, look yourselves in the fucking mirror and change what you do every day at your job.
No more profanity. Thank you.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
You tell them white supremacist bitch ass.
Yes, Jazmyn! Yes, let's get married!
Somewhere else.
Let's make babies!
We already got one.
Obviously, the tensions of this day were high. However, that did not stop members of the opposing sides from having conversations in hopes to understand one another. Here was an interesting conversation that I recorded between Miss T of Roc Era and Jared of Take Back HB.
Okay. And I'm talking, what's your name? T. T? T. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the narrative of defund the police. And what I hear when I hear that statement, and what I think a lot of people, most people in my community, and I'm Hispanic, I'm light-skinned Hispanic, so I pass for white. I live in the white community. I have a lot of black friends. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. Right? But I think that most people that I know, think that the police need reform. Police brutality needs to stop. The police are doing things that they shouldn't be involved in. They shouldn't be involved in social work. They should be involved in mental illness and in dealing with things that they're not prepared for. They're not trained for. They're not educated for.
Yeah.
I think most people agree with that. I would estimate 80 to 90% of people agree with that. But when you say defund the police, what people hear is we want anarchy. We want to close down the police station and let rapists and murderers and drug dealers do whatever the hell they want. 100%.
So you're saying the abrasion of the word, the words is kind of hindering the motion?
Yes. By saying it that way, by communicating it that way, you're creating this animosity toward that statement. When it is English,
it's abrasive.
It is, and it's English.
But the actions of the police are abrasive.
And the definition of the word, defund. If you look at it semantically, it is accurately stated.
Okay, so I want to fast forward. So what do you think a solution for all is?
I don't know how to change the communication, how to change that statement, but it's really it's a PR thing, right? Where you have to if you're going to say we want to defund the police, what you're really saying is you want to reallocate those funds to people who can do the job of social work and dealing with homelessness and drug addiction, to people who are more qualified. Change that narrative somehow. I'm not a politician. I'm not, I see it and I hear it and I'm like, yes, most people agree with that. It makes sense, right? But you have to change how it's being put out there.
This entire time, these weeks that we've been out here saying defund the police and reallocate funds, you weren't listening to us. But now that somebody
he just started listening right now because he was against it and he just doesn't like the wording. And I think the wording is powerful. I will never change it. If it irritates you enough, you'll listen. You need to be uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable for a long time. People that look like me have been uncomfortable for a long time. And it's okay. Exactly. And so we're all satisfied. Nobody's going to be satisfied. Join the party.
Doing some really hateful stuff out here. It's not cool. We have overfunded police who only make up 1% of the community, yet they get 40 to 60% of the general funds. We need to make sure those funds go back into the community. Take care of your homeless. 40 beds is not enough. continue to evaluate that and give a few more beds. With that being said, social workers and drug counselors would be more beneficial for those people that are suffering like that, instead of having them going out to the police. Just give some thought to really help out your community. It's a humanity issue, it's not a political issue. I know all of you guys have a heart. You do care about people. You would have taken the job. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
First of all, I'm black. All day, every day, 24/7. I'm black and I'm proud. Shout out to James Brown. I'm also trans. I've been on hormones for 7 months, and I'm also a person that lives with a physical disability. So that's what I stand for. That's my life. So I have an organization that's called AIAP. That's AIAP, and that stands for Accessibility Inclusion Advancement Project. So what I'm trying to do with that is really to just help people gain more access. People with disabilities, black people with disabilities, gain more access and be able to better navigate the racist healthcare system that we have here in the United States. That it's very hard to get approved for benefits. A lot of times people are finding it hard to find a job if they're living with a disability. So I just want to change the lives of people like my life has changed. I feel like I'm doing what I can do just by being alive and breathing. Like, my life is a walking protest. That's how I feel about it, you know? You, as a gay man, your life is a walking protest as well. There has just been so many times in this society that we've been shoved into closets or we've been put away in the shadows and not allowed to come out. But right now we're living in a time where it's not foreign to see two men kissing each other, or two women, or to see people who may not look exactly male or female or even identify with either of those things. So I think that right now is the perfect time for this kind of conversation to be happening. I mean, now is as good a time as any, but all we have is now, so that's what we're going to talk about right now. And we're not going to stop.
Woo! Let's go.
That need food, people in need of first aid that can't see a doctor, and more importantly, people in need of someone that shows them that they are not forgotten. How many people, how many unhoused people have to die to convince you that they are people, that homeless people are not just all drug addicts. These people need our help. And if we don't want them to defecate in our parks, then we need to help them and give them a place to stay, not just push them away and tell them to go somewhere else. I am urging the City Council to continue following coronavirus mask and social distancing precaution, and to please have some compassion in your hearts for the homeless population of Huntington Beach. Establish a shelter. Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
They're still holding on to what America looks like. Okay, show what America looks like.
It's a serious problem. This is what mother America looks like.
'Bye, piggies! Go eat a fucking donuts, you fat fucking slobs!
Period.
Bitch.
Are shouldering all the burden with the homeless health crisis.
Where do you expect them to go? Where do you expect them to go?
Make the decision. We are
When half
tired
the
of waiting
budget
for our
is
city
given to the
council members
cops, it
to
can
take a
solve
move.
the problem.
Be the solution, not the problem. Thank you.
Just to give a little bit more context to this day, there was a group called Take Back HB present at this council meeting, advocating for more harsh rules on the homeless community. They were also electing that a shelter be built. This shelter would only be holding 40 beds for their entire homeless community. We felt that what they should actually do is defund their police department. But you touched her with your sign. I don't mind recording your sign, but don't touch her with your sign. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I just don't touch her with the sign. That's all I'm saying. Okay. No, that's it.
There's absolutely no reason not to create an emergency shelter.
That's what you are. You're having her protect you. You're a fucking little bitch. You're a bitch. That's what you are. You're a little bitch. I keep reminding you that you're a little bitch. Right now. So when you said you wanted to talk and he doesn't, that's okay. But I said I wanted to talk to you. About what? Because that man went over there to touch me and he put his hands on me and the cop, and then he runs to the cops. Hold on, I'm not done talking yet. And he goes to the cops and he, they start to protect him. And I am angry because they don't do anything. If anything, they're putting us more in danger. You see how he had his hands on his gun? He is provoking us. He is a threat to us. He is not helping us.
Okay, and then so what happened with old boy up there?
He touched me.
He grabbed her.
Because he was recording. He was recording. This is the third touch. This is the third time someone has put hands on us.
All females today, Jai, and it's not like they're touching men. They keep touching fucking females. So
They keep trying to.
It's like you're a dummy.
Yeah, and then he like tried to put it in your face, like hit you.
And then he touched my hand. He like touched
I'm like, fuck that.
Okay. I don't know why everyone's acting.
That's what I fucking thought. Get your fucking eyes off me, bitch. Look at a fucking tree or something. I'm not that fucking important. Fucking A. You too, bitch. Look at something else. God damn, I know I'm fucking handsome, but fuck. I know. Look somewhere else, motherfucker. You know anything? You know how to mind your own fucking business? Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what you got.
Oh, where'd you know?
Shut the fuck up, bitch. I know that. Go, man. Go, bitch. Hey, excuse me. Time is going, and you ain't got that much, so move on. Oh! No respect. It's not tough to be calling the whole thing. I'm sorry, bro, but you're not. Don't fucking come at me like that.
Come to the rescue with that walk.
everybody calm down.
With the heels of the protest. Word!
Yes, you better come through. Yes, protest ass. Wow.
It's about how, like, I'm not gonna come in here with respect for them because clearly when they're compliant with the racist ass views in Huntington Beach, they're essentially all fucking racist. When they're saying that this shit, they're saying this shit is okay inadvertently all the fucking time, and that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to the people that are like my fucking family, bro. So why the fuck would we come here with respect? Everybody's getting mad at you because you aren't approaching anybody with respect. Where the fuck is the respect? Take back HB from fucking who?
Why do I need to give respect?
I'm not gonna come up here with respect for you, and it's because this man is looking at me smiling. That's actually one of the reasons. But the second, actually the first and foremost reason is going to be because you're not showing respect to anybody else when you are compliant with racism in Huntington Beach. You're not. I was at a protest on May 31st, and there, white supremacists, people saying that white lives matter more than black lives. We're spitting on people, we're hitting people in the face. And you know what happened? The cops were coming towards black and brown people, the people fighting for black and brown people. They didn't fucking touch a white supremacist.
Please stop the profanity.
They did not touch one of them. One of them. When they are compliant with that, they are saying that racism in Huntington Beach is okay. When nothing is done about that, nothing is being done in general. Nothing. You guys haven't even said that you agree that Black Lives Matter, so how are we supposed to respect you? When you can't say that Black Lives Matter. It's that simple, bro. It's that simple. Beach be from who? Take it back from homeless people, the people without shelter? Like, that's unfathomable. Huntington Beach was never
Give HB back to the Indians. You said thesaurus!
I yield my time, man.
She really resurrected.
People that do not respect us.
Exactly.
Never. So why do I need to show you any
respect.
type? Why do I need to show you any type of niceness, happiness, love, compassion?
Nothing.
When you do not show me any type
You don't owe
of
them a fucking
entitlement.
hello.
Nothing.
They can sit there and
They expect so much
They
from
feel
us.
like,
They expect so much from us.
I'm gonna act how I want, but you cannot react how you want.
Because the whole thing of it is they're lucky that we are a forgiving and loving people, and they're banking on that. But at the end of the day, when it does come down to it, at some point we got to have conversations with these people. We've got to be able to, yes, we want them pissed off, yes, we want them uncomfortable, but we can't go to the top where we can't get our message what we're saying. Like I said, you're entitled to it. Every damn right, protect your woman. Every black man needs to protect their black woman. Every man needs to protect their black woman, regardless. And so
That's why when they try to put their hands on her, that's why I was having. And even when I went in between him, he was still putting his shoulder down and trying to push me. And that's the reason why the cops grabbed him and took him out. I don't even think they arrested him, which they should have.
Well, they should have arrested him, but you know, I don't know.
If it was me doing that, I would have already been in jail. Since it was a white dude doing it to me, and he put his hands on a black woman, it's okay. We're just gonna tell him it's not too on
I
the
heard
side.
them say that they didn't see it. I said, well, everybody else saw it. It's kind of funny when you make a report about something, they don't have to have ocular proof.
Let's go, B! I'm here to talk about the Declaration for Policy about Human Dignity, which not all of you passed. I think Eric Peterson was the only one to say that this is not something that we should do. But as a document presented in 1996 that this is not enough. However, this is all that we've gotten. And according to your own declaration, it says, remember that the silence and apathy are the greatest allies of those who are committing hate crimes. So as we still get death threats, as we still get followed to our cars, as we're protesting and standing up for the 1% of black people who live here in Huntington Beach, your silence is increasingly loud. But please understand that because of this, I also want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to research every single one of you and seeing what you're doing for us, which is hardly anything. Which is nothing. And I know there's also 3 seats that are coming up, so please believe we're watching what the people who are doing to come take your seats are doing for us. And we will vote them in. And we will vote you out. And please understand that we have given ample opportunities for you to even speak up against the hatred that we're seeing, but you refuse to do that. And I really don't understand why. It's hurtful. It's painful. I'm from Huntington Beach. And this is what we have to deal with. Getting told to go home, getting hands put on us, getting followed to our cars, and getting death threats. And yet still you remain silent.
Thank you for your comments.
Speak up or get out.
Speak up or get out!